how this usually works, right? Probably should record it. Always a good idea. Alright. Okay. Welcome to New Music Monday. My name is Gabrielle Powell. I'm here as my co-host, and may I say, good friend.
Aw, thank you, Gabby.
You have to say your name.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
doesn't
right.
make
My
sense.
name is Alec.
There we go.
They should have known by good friend and co-host.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, come on. And we are here today with the beautiful, lovely, wonderful, musically talented, divine.
What else is here?
Wow. Yeah. Whoa.
Me. We are here with the talented Milwaukee band, 5’s, and you guys have been playing out in Milwaukee, making a splash.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy, fortunately. So idle hands are not good for us.
Idle hands would rather be playing guitar.
Right. Here, let me go get it really quick.
This is actually just an extended performance.
We're making kind of like more of like a cannonball effect, I think, you know? It's just like that kind of splash. We just kind of leaped and jumped into the pool like as hard as we could.
Are those lyrics from Cannonball? From the Breeders?
But yeah, we just keep running up that ladder and jumping into the pool, and somehow, yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting everybody wet.
Yeah, if you stand too close, you might get wet.
Right. And the thing is that there's no water in the pool.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Sometimes
cool.
it's more of a thud than a
Yeah.
splash. But, you know, we do what we can.
But thanks for having us. We're pretty stoked to be here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Well,
Thank
of
you.
course we're stoked to have you. You've definitely been, I don't know, on my radar at least. I'm probably the most involved of anyone on radio staff, as I should be as music director with the Milwaukee music scene. So I've known about you for quite some time, probably, since I moved to Milwaukee, I guess. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your origins?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Juan Avalos. I play guitar. I do vocals with the boys in 5’s.
Well, it was kind of it was your brainchild. I remember I bumped into Juan several years ago when he was first, he's like, I got an idea for this band. It's called 5’s. And how it all came together. It was several incarnations. I actually tried out for it in the beginning, but didn't stick around at first.
Yeah, that's a sore sub. Can we cut the radio? Because we're going to start fighting here. Sweep the legs, like, ah! No, but Ryan and I...
Schedule.
Yeah, we've all had
The
conflicting
time wasn't
schedules.
right. The stars weren't aligned at that point.
Right, but now they are. Now the moon is full. Wait a second. But anyways, we've all...
The dawning of the age of...
Of what? Dawn of the Dead? Ryan and I have actually known each other for about 20 years, just acquaintances, mutual friends, and just from being in old bands together back in the early
90s.
back in 2015.
You're old.
Shut it. Cállate. But we've known each other for a really long time, just from mutual bands back in the day. We've both been playing out for 20 plus years. So we've known of each other, and when we got the opportunity to connect, we took full advantage of it, and we're just going full stream ahead. And Joe and I, actually, we grew up in the same neighborhood, Joe Martinez, who does drums, and somehow, we had the same circle of friends, the same circle of family, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of the Latino connection. But we connected a few years ago when we were looking for a drummer and he was looking for a band. And it just,
There were sparks.
Right.
There was a connection.
Right.
You right
for
away.
sure.
Absolutely.
Right away we
Love was in the air.
You smiled and it went bing. And Rob.
Uh-oh.
So, anyways,
How the heck did...
no, a good buddy of our mutual friend of ours, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
who were actually playing his 40th birthday.
Yes, in a year.
In a year.
Yeah.
We have to plan that far in advance just because...
Yeah, we're already booked into next year.
Right. Because once you get in your 40s, you have to plan naps and dinners by 5 o'clock and whatnot. But a mutual friend of Rob and I's past introduced us, and we got together for dinner one night.
Yeah. We're not going to get into that story very deeply.
Why not? Dragon's milk? There was a lot of...
There was some debauchery to be had that night.
Yeah. Because we're the most...
You are a Wisconsin band.
Yes.
Right.
Again, love is
And
in
it
the air.
started with beer, so...
It always
In Milwaukee,
starts
I mean, like...
with beer.
Right.
It ends really cheesy.
Yeah.
Well, we are in Wisconsin.
And regrettable.
We won't talk about that.
Right.
The mic's not on anymore, right? So I guess we can. We're amongst friends.
Well, I don't know if we want to broadcast that to the world. We could, but,
Yeah.
you know.
But nonetheless, I mean, we all gelled really well together outside of the band, which I think is, what's helped us a lot. Because we do genuinely hang out and our wives hang out, our
Enjoy each
girls
other's
hang out.
company.
Yeah. So even if we weren't in a band, I mean, I think we would still be friends, which to me is the core of it. I mean, this is our little family. This is our little tribe.
Well, that's it. It's size 5's, it's based on the movie, you've got that core group of friends that kind of take on the world and the adventure, and everything.
Right, but to even backtrack just a little bit, the name Size 5's comes from a movie that came out in 1985. There's a character in the movie, and her name is Ma Fratelli. And there's a scene where she yells, "Follow them Size 5's." And it's a little movie called The Goonies. So, like Ryan just said, I mean, it's all about camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
$50 bill.
Brotherhood, community, free range living. You can't get that anymore.
Yeah,
No,
Kids don't,
It's against
you
the law
don't have
now.
free range kids anymore.
No.
A movie like that, it's like,
Yeah.
can never be remade.
Right. But that's pretty much how we got our start together, And you know what? I just want to say publicly, I love you guys.
Huh.
I love you.
Well,
You can't take it back now. It's on the record.
Oh, man.
do we leave them hanging?
No,
No,
we love you too.
Aw. Group hug. Awkward silence.
It's the full moon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was last night. I'm gonna blame it on the moon.
Right.
Wasn't it some kind of spring moon?
Scorpion.
Scorpion?
Something like
Sunday.
that. Everybody's Twitter pated.
Yeah. Well, something's really going on.
I saw it on I saw it on MySpace.
Oh.
That's a Bambi riff.
I don't know. I just know Thumper.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. I forgot we're in public for a minute.
Yeah, right.
But we're not. But
It
we are.
happens.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
Yeah, wow. So you got started, obviously in the city, and has the city played a big role in supporting you, or?
We've been very fortunate. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, we wouldn't have had what I would call a success without it. I mean, the success depends on is pretty much relevant to the city supporting us so much. Radio stations, just the communities, the venues,
Bands.
other bands, friends, and now, the fan base that we've actually been able to accumulate and build over the past couple of years. We put a lot of hard work into it, and it's nice to get that, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'd also like to say it's not necessarily a fan base because to us, I mean, they're an extended part of our family. So that's what I love about the camaraderie. Said it. Between people that come to shows, the venues that host us, the other bands, because the bands really do support each other. I mean, there's a lot of camaraderie between the bands.
It's not camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie, right?
No.
Camaraderie.
Yes.
Camaraderie.
You think of the word commodity and camaraderie, and you're making them one.
Okay, so cuando yo digo algo, tú no me vas a decir. But no, Milwaukee has one of the greatest music scenes that I've seen in a long time, and we've been doing this for a long time. But there's so much support between the bands, like I said, the venues, the radio stations. Everyone just comes out to support live music. So it's something beneficial to everyone because everyone has a good time. And if we don't, we buy you shots.
Right. Even if they do, we buy them.
It's a win-win either way.
Right. Or win-lose, depending on how many shots we buy you.
Right, yeah.
That's true. That is true. You gotta be careful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ultimately, without the community, we're really nothing. That's the sum of our success or just everything is based on the support of the community. Without it, we're really nothing. We're just a couple guys playing some music.
And we love our community as well. I mean, one of the songs that we have written is about the community that we grew up in called Bayview. So we have a song titled 53207, 53207, which pays homage to... Thank you. It pays homage to, our...
For the SATs or something?
the SATs?
We love the community.
Right, but it's a song that pays homage to our upbringings and the experiences that we've had, and we've all traveled pretty extensively throughout the world, whether it's on vacation or for work or even playing music, but at the end of the day, Milwaukee will always be home for us.
Absolutely.
So, it's our love for the city. So, and it's a song that we recorded a couple years ago with Paul Knievers, Neverland. So we recorded 7 songs with them, and we're actually going into the studio in June again. So we're going to do a couple more songs, and we'll release another 5-song EP by mid-July, I'd say.
That's our goal.
That's the goal. So, and then we're just going to continuously do some smaller sets, maybe a vinyl, some singles.
Yeah. Beyond the support of the community, it really inspires us.
Right.
Just the day to day. Kind of like that factory. That blue collar sense that Milwaukee kind of has too. That history. There's some grit in the industrial side of it, and I think that has a definite influence over us too.
Yeah. And I hate to sound kind of niche. Right. I hate to sound kind of niche, but for our live shows 2 years ago, I wore nothing but suits. That's what I wore as a performance. Last year was just nothing but black polos, for the down, the beat and the damn, the whole Johnny Cash, This year, I've been wearing all Wisconsin-related shirts. Every show that we played, it's all been Milwaukee, it's been Madison, it's just been all Wisconsin. That's what I'm going to continue to do for the rest of this year, because to me, Wisconsin is home. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'll travel anywhere in the world.
Like you cross that border back into Wisconsin, and you just feel that sense of relief that you're home. It's incredible. It's notable.
Yeah.
And I like the Midwest in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wisconsin definitely is where we're from, and has very much shaped who we are. But also just in Midwest, like the outside perspective, Midwest has a totally different kind of hardcore sense with because we got the 4 seasons that are raging, and I think it takes a different toll on you, and it kind of makes you think a little bit differently. The excitement levels, the highs are really high when it's nice out, and then the lows it can be pretty depressing, So I think a lot of that also plays into just who we are and how we play and how we approach music and things like that. Some of it, I don't know if you can tell that some of our songs are a little bit darker. It's not always like really, we're borderline pop. I feel like we're borderline pop punk, and then somewhere between like not quite hardcore, but like in the traditional sense, but American hardcore. So I think that all of those things kind of play into that somehow.
Right. And the basis for a lot of history, we all love history. That's kind of the basis for a lot of the lyrical content. We have songs about our community, as I mentioned previously. We have songs about the death of Julius Caesar. We have songs about Madame LaLaurie, an old socialite from New Orleans back in the early 1800s. One of the songs that we played earlier was a song written and inspired on a trip to Italy, into Rome, after visiting the crypt of the Capuchin monks. So, it's not just a bunch of
Nonsensical.
Yeah. I try
There's
to.
depth to it.
We try to have some sort of story to it and some sort of depth.
Mhm.
That's what we're
like say like positive punk, also, having some real like universal themes, I said like like you bringing up the support of the community. I mean, that's generally what our focus is, and those themes of like brotherhood and community and having each other's backs and helping each other out and stuff like that, and kind of the unknown and being home and like all sorts of different things,
I mean, I've definitely experienced it on, both sides, giving and receiving of that support as someone who works at a radio station in Milwaukee, giving people opportunities to come play here and, play at our spring concert, play at our Battle of the Bands, and then also as a musician myself, going out into the community. Milwaukee is definitely different than any other place that I've played, even in the Midwest. In Wisconsin, there's just this little microcosm within Milwaukee where it's this like working class, proud of who we are, gonna support people if they have a good message, and I think it's something that's really special about not only Wisconsin but Milwaukee in particular.
Yeah.
Well, do you feel like there's like this sense of like modesty also? I feel like it's like it just seems like Milwaukee wants to make sure you don't get too big for your britches.
There is an aspect of that.
If you start like getting like too much into that celebrity type mentality or something, you know what I mean? It just somehow it just keeps you down to earth in a way,
And I think there's like this culture of like people who have sort of quote unquote made it within the city, who you meet them and they're so humble that like if you're a band that's coming up and you meet a band that's in your mind at the pinnacle of what it is to be a band in Milwaukee, and you meet them and they're just so friendly, so nice, so down to earth, you're not going to be like, well, I need to be star power, star dazzle, sparkles, whatever.
I want just the green M&Ms.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got a question for you guys.
Of course.
Now we're turning the tables around. Is that how the phrase goes? We're turning the tables. Is that
Close enough.
like a lazy Susan? So
a relish train.
Right. I want to know, what was your first concert? First ever.
Probably my first concert this is what I've been told by my mom.
Okay.
Is that it was my older sister, she's 5.5 years older than me, really wanted to go see Britney Spears. So we went and saw co-headlining Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
Oh.
My first concert I remember going to was at the Bradley Center, and I think I was like 9, and I begged my mom to get me Fleetwood Mac tickets.
Oh.
I went and saw Fleetwood
Nice.
Mac as a
That's a good
9-year-old.
one.
My mom was
That
like,
is
"You're
cool.
so weird.
I like that.
I don't understand you. Why do you want?
That's awesome.
Why don't you want to listen? Why are we not listening to some Nickelodeon song? I don't understand.
Some
Fine."
kids bop.
She's like, she's proud but a little weirded out about it.
What was your first show?
Well, actually, I wouldn't say it was a huge show by any means, but there's this place back in like my hometown called Camp David, and they have a giant like party barn, I guess you could call it.
Awesome.
And they do this thing called Fish Stock, where it's like a play off of Woodstock, and it's in Fish Creek, which is up north in Wisconsin, if you know where that is. And there's this reggae band that's been coming there for years called Unity, and I think it was my sophomore year of high school. They were up there just rocking the place.
I know those guys.
I thought the barn
They
was
play
gonna
Brown Deer all the
burn
time.
down.
Awesome.
But it was cool. It was cool because it was like a local, like Midwest band in a local venue, and like you just can't get much more homey than that.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
It is, and that's one thing about music, it can create such amazing memories like that, it's such a gift, to us, I feel, it can take you away from a rough week, or a bad day, or whatever it may be, and just have this real impact on you, it's like you totally remember those first shows and stuff like that,
Definitely.
And that's one of the bigger...
It's really interesting, like, how when you're in a sad, mad, bad mood, how happy music will make you happier, but sad music will also make you happier.
Right.
I don't understand.
It's like this paradoxical.
Yeah, I have no idea how it works.
Let's listen
It's
to some Morrissey
magical.
right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chalk it up to it's magical. Music has some sort of
Yeah.
special healing power, and I will treat it with the mystical reverence it deserves.
Yeah.
And with that, we are over time a little bit.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. I'd rather have a much longer interview and have it be conversational and get deep.
Yeah.
And I love to rep Milwaukee at any point in time. So,
Organic.
Mission
it's
accomplished.
organic.
Yeah.
So
Right.
thank you so much for coming on. This is our final New Music Monday of spring 2018. We'll be back with more programming in the fall.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Awesome.
See you guys.
Right on.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
for
so
sure.
much for
Yes.
having us.
We
Yep.
truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. So that was the Marquette Radio New Music Monday experience.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Did you
thanks
like
for
how
having us.
3 seconds into the interview I knocked this off?
Yeah, we wanted to hit the ground.
Oh,
Technical
I can
That's punk
actually,
rock.
I can really relate to you.